Hey everybody, Big Mike here at CrossFit Central downtown with Miss Chris Gosserin. Chris is going to get highlighted this time as the athlete of the month for February. So Chris, how's it?
March. April.
March.
We're in April.
For March. This is client of the month for March. But Chris has actually been highlighted before via CrossFit Central's website. Both as a success story and a empowerment story. Is that right?
Yes.
So Chris is actually going to get more of an honor today for my client of the month for really what she's been doing as recently as an athlete. So Chris, kind of a journey it's been for you since you started here at CrossFit Central, right?
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey for me.
Yeah, so 5 years in, just turned 50 years old, and just recently competed in recently had two of her best performances ever in a couple competitions. Won the Fittest Games, which is one we host, and the CrossFit Games Open, which just ended about a week ago. So, Chris, it's an honor and glad to have you here and glad to highlight your success today.
Thank you, Mike. It's an honor for me.
Okay, so just tell us, I want to talk about your athleticism, where you're at as a CrossFit athlete, and just what you've been able to experience over the last year, knowing that being competitive and doing this stuff and seeing what you could do as a master's athlete, what that's all kind of been like for you.
So this has been huge for me because when I started out, I've never done anything athletic. I really didn't move athletically. I think I've been maybe one of Mike's biggest projects, teaching me how to be coordinated, how to be agile, how to move like an athlete. And in the last year or so, that has finally started to click, and I've started to train with that in mind. And this is the first time in my life that I've felt that capability. And so going into the Fittest Games this year and the Open this year, I've felt the strongest and the fittest that I've ever been in my life, and really for the first time thinking of myself as an athlete.
Yeah, really cool. So I train as a CrossFit athlete. We train pretty much 5 days a week. And you train currently in the advanced program, which is a 4-day-a-week program, and you do private training with me once a week as well, where we get to focus on skill work. Tell us about your focus on your training, how you're doing it, and how you're recovering in order for you to be able to even be competitive in the sport.
Jumping into the advanced class was a huge leap for me. Volume was higher, intensity was higher, and I had a big learning curve the first couple of months with how to recover from that. That's been huge for me. I actually tweaked my back, injured my back, because I wasn't doing that to the level that I needed to. So sleep, nutrition, hydration, mobilizing, all that I had to really increase and stay on top of, and adding the double day of personal training right before my rest day is something that I've done for I think a couple of years now. We've had that in there, so that's something that I've worked out that actually works well with my week. But definitely the increase in the volume and intensity of what we do made me have to pay much more attention to my recovery. And essentially what I look for my training and why the advanced class has been so good for me is that I really needed to focus on my skills and developing strength, and that's the programming that we get in the class, and the opportunity to train with athletes who move well, who are strong, who are better athletes than I am, and be in an environment where I'm pushed and I'm encouraged, and no one treats me any differently than anyone else in the class. That's one of the things that I love, that I'm in there training and working with athletes some of them who are 20, some of them maybe 25 years younger than I am. And for me, that's really fun. I'm not gonna catch them, but I'm gonna give it my best shot.
Yeah, absolutely. So it's been cool to see that. I get to coach you a couple times a week, and Jess Estrada gets to coach you a couple times a week. We see the work that you put in. We know that you're working hard. So just tell us real quick on your placements and where you finished, both in the Fittest Games and the Open, since now that you've actually been entered this year a new age bracket. So tell us about that.
Okay, so the Fittest Games is one of my most favorite events. I've actually, this year was I think it was the 4th year that I competed in that. The first year I did it, I had no idea what I was getting myself into. And but this year was the first year that I really felt like I knew what I was doing, preparing. Mike, you have worked so much with me in terms of learning to think like a competitor, and a lot of our private training has revolved around the mental side as well as the physical side of getting ready for a competition, because that's not anything I've ever had an experience with. And for me, a lot of my my learning curve going into competing was that mental side, how to have a game plan and stick with it, what happens when the game plan falls apart, staying calm, and that's been a huge part of our training that I've appreciated a lot. So the Fittest Games this year, I placed second in the Fittest Games here, and under some pretty adverse conditions for me. It was miserably cold, and the events and that was challenging for me. The very first event, I tore open both palms of my hands on the pull-ups and had to regroup and figure out how to get through the whole rest of the weekend with that, and I did, and ended up in second place in an amazing final event that was loads of fun and a little bit scary, because that's games filled with like literally 2,000 people, and I've never ever competed in an environment like that before, so that was loads of fun. And then going into the Open this year, I moved up to a new age group this year. So last year I was the oldest in my age group. This year I was the baby, and I was excited about that because I really wanted to see what I could do, being in that position. So this year, for the first time, for each workout, I actually moved up in my ranking. Right until the very last one. Typically my experience in the last two Opens, the first workout would be my best one, and I would slowly sink over the course of the 5 weeks. So it was exciting this year to have a good solid showing in the first workout, and then with each workout see my standings jump and going into it, I didn't really have a sense of where I might end up, and by the time we were headed into the fifth and final workout, I was 23 spots out of the top 200, which was amazing to me, and I never expected to be fighting for a spot in the top 200. So I ended up redoing the fifth workout to try to bump my time and make it into that top 200. Didn't quite make it. But all in all, super proud of my effort, and excited to be where I was when that ended. I ended up at 235th in the world and 17th in the South Central region. So not too shabby.
That's really awesome. So you're just putting in work, you're getting it done, you're improving year to year, and just the recognition that you deserve right now. And I know that every post you make on Facebook and everything that you're putting out there for the people that know you to see is truly an inspiration. So I just encourage you to keep doing it, and just keep doing it. And it's awesome. So good job.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks.
High five. All right. We'll catch you next time, guys.